flat passing. Oh, what about the tackle on Meeks? Real pressure, not Rebels. Looking for a converted try. What a shot from Waisaki Naholo. That's how you do it at home.
12 trees. Ouch. That was some hit, ladies and gentlemen.
People think these tackles are just because they're hard blokes, but it's the way he reads it. He knew this was coming. Look at those eyes, and he just accelerates. He hits high in around the sternum. It's a textbook shot. He slides up a little bit just because 12 Tree's knees buckle. 12 Trees feels him coming, tries to lean back to get the ball away, which he
finds Lucas! Whoa! Timu has been morphed in the midfield. Timu there, far early.
The way they're finishing this game. Look at him taking the ball forward. It's a legitimate tackle, arms and shoulders.
Rugby originated in England in the first half of the 19th century, and the most common form is a game between two teams of 15 players using an oval-shaped ball on a rectangular field with 8-shaped goalposts at each end. Rugby is a popular sport around the world, played by male and female players of all ages. In 2014, there were more than 6 million people playing worldwide. So what brought this foreign sport to the city of Fishers? Kurt Trout, who at the time was a teacher at Fishers High School, was helping coach the Hamilton Southeastern rugby team. Trout thought the players were being coached too soft and decided to start his own team at Fishers High School, saying he was going to out-recruit them. The first year didn't go so well, and this is what Eric Colt, one of the fathers of the first players at Fishers, had to say.
So the expectations of the first year of rugby was to actually learn the game. We had a lot of kids that had never played before, and only a few that had. So it was about the knowledge of the game, the sportsmanship of the game, the culture of the game, and then as well to compete as best we could.
The first year didn't go so well, as Fishers only won a handful of games. But as time went on, the team got more experience from youth teams and started to rise up through the Indiana Rugby divisions, eventually winning the Division I varsity and JV state championships in 2016. As the team has gotten better, the support for the team has grown, and the expectations for the team have set the bar high.
Our competitiveness is off the charts. If you think about it, our first year, that was a tough year. We were in the lowest division you could be in, called the Development League. And it was tough going because not knowing the game, at the end of the day, you didn't win a lot. Since then, you could tell the team progressed. We had our knowledge of the game improved. More kids came out. If you think about it, the first year we had 18 kids, and you play with 15. Now we average 55 to 60. So our knowledge of the game, our competitiveness, we went from a development league to being a national power now. Oh man, numbers first and foremost. We have a lot more parents involved. We have a really strong parent group, and at the end of the day, just more kids that are enjoying this game that's growing at 100% a year across the country.
Here is senior captain Chase Cranfield and how the rugby team has changed from his freshman year all the way to his senior year.
How did you get in the rugby?
So my friend in 8th grade told me I should try rugby. He doesn't play anymore, and the other friend that got me into it, he goes to HSC, but basically back in Riverside we had a joint team with HSC and Fishers, and I was able to learn from our head coach now when he was back as the 8th grade coach, and I fell in love with it and I kept playing ever since.
How has the rugby team changed from freshman year to senior year?
It's definitely been more organized. I remember back in freshman year, we almost had nothing from the school, nothing from really much anything. Now we're getting more things. We have a new machine on our field to allow us to practice and improve. It's just we've come a long way in the 4 years, and we're definitely hoping to grow some more. It's definitely been more popular, I believe, since in freshman year we didn't have that many players. We had maybe a team, 2 teams, and now we're up to 3, so we're growing pretty rapidly.
What were the expectations coming into the season for this team?
For this team, definitely win every game, kick butt, just be better than we were last year, because last year there was a high standard to be held up to, and I think there's moments when we surpass that standard, but then there's moments where we're down to that standard, and I think we just need to improve.
And how have the expectations changed from freshman year to senior year?
Freshman year, we were in the D1 league, so it was basically win every single game by a lot. Win state, all that good stuff. We didn't go to nationals because we were in the D1. We weren't good enough, but through the 3-4 years that this place has grown, we've been able to continue that, winning every game, winning as many games as possible, playing the best we can be, and being able to go to tournaments and go to things like nationals. Unfortunately, we're not going this year, but we definitely went last year. It was a lot of fun. We learned a lot, and we definitely got a lot better because of it.
Rugby isn't just a man's sport, as the Fishers girls rugby team has started to play their second season as a team.
How did you get into rugby?
I played soccer my sophomore year, and I swam and I did track, and nothing was really aggressive enough. So then one of my friends told me that I should play rugby, and she took me to the first practice and got me signed up, and that's how.
And what are some of the rule changes between men's rugby and women's rugby?
There are no rule changes, but I feel like the sirs treat us differently. Like, they treat us, we don't get as aggressive, so they call more technical things than they call for the boys. Like, we could get called for smaller things that maybe aren't as impactful for the boys because it moves so quickly in the boys' games.
What have players who participated in the first season done to help new players this season and in future seasons?
Well, at the beginning of our season, like in January and February, we were only having one practice a week, so we bumped that and we moved it to 2 or 3 practices a week, and our coaches weren't really involved, but we found a place to practice a few times a week, and we went there and we trained them, and we did more than just the basics, so they were a little bit more prepared for the season and actual gameplay as opposed to just like controlled drills. And we've talked to them about like how they can keep doing that with the new incoming freshmen and the new incoming players so that they also understand what's going on.
Rugby has become a part of Fishers athletics and has made it onto the national scene as a contender in many tournaments. Rugby is a sport that is on the rise in the United States and is certainly on the rise in Fishers.